people, and then one of the ways we do that is by saying their name sometimes. And I want to say his name was Josh, and his mom Cindy is our next speaker.
Okay, so now you know my name is Cindy Yule, and that you know my son's name is Josh Valdez. I would like to be thankful to tell you how I gave out every single shirt in person, including the 13 shirts that are being worn in Medford, Oregon, as our Reading team plays a softball tournament. Yeah, and I'm also proud to say that some of the kids got to take pictures and in preparation for our walk, and they got to meet my son Chase. And because of Chase, I'm here to share with you something amazing I learned. My son Chase, the day we went to do the walk, it was just like any other day. Because he has special needs, he did not want to go. But through his grief, I learned that Chase was scared. He said he did not want to see his brother. He did not want to look at him. He looked out the window and he told me. He told me he sees Josh every day and says hi. And he looked away, about to cry, and said my brother was finally being nice to me. It took everything I had to think of something amazing. I told him my shirts are going to save lives. But I told him some cultures believe in when you lose someone, you have a celebration of life. You have a joyous party. You think about them, you remember them, you laugh. And as I told him that, I told him how it meant to me that we're all God's gifts. And through the eyes of the world, we can see what we never felt, what we never saw or could have seen. And I looked at Chase and told him, through the eyes of the world, I've seen them laugh and they rejoice with love and happiness. What they don't know in the world is that Chase now tells me 20 times a day he loves me. And my son Josh, from the world there was a sense of coolness as he excelled in sports, as he excelled in art, and by his smile. My son Mike, the world showed a sense of pride in everything they said about him. But as a collective group here today, I see that we are the eyes to show the world and teach them about awareness of mental illness. Because of that, I want to share with you my passion to build awareness in schools. Through my research, through talking with educators, community leaders, I'm going to start with talking about organizations and peer groups, how they're so important, and resources that teachers provide with schools. Some of the organizations you may all know is the DARE Project. Sets awareness, bullying, obesity awareness, but the one thing we don't see is mental health awareness. As according to OpenStack's Introduction to Sociology, addiction is a mental illness. So is eating disorders, anorexia, bulimia. So is bipolar depression, OCD, and so many others. The organizations here today, most people do not hear about, like the ALEX Project, NAMI, National Alliance for Mental Illness, AFSP, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. But they're all joined by losing somebody. And they're all working on building awareness, support. As of 2012 and 13, AFSP has 4 states that teachers are now required by law to build suicide awareness in schools. There's even organizations here like Stand Against Stigma, Brave Faces, that go into schools and build awareness. They take young kids that are willing to speak and take them to the schools to help others. According to evidence-based research, the U.S. National Institute of Health.gov shows that the 4 states are actually working. There's a few that are still not as effective. In our own community, according to educator Diskin, there's still a fear and avoidance. And my last statistic from Dadigan, we're not in every single school. And I think us coming together can make a change. How do we raise the bar to 100% effectiveness? The answer is by peers educating peers. with the help of community leaders and school-trained officials. Some of the research to confirm peer groups' effectiveness include Emerald Journal. They show effective pilot programs that youth have already gotten help. The UCLA and other universities have already used peers teaching peers. The CDC research on mortality and morbidity learned that high-risk behaviors in childhood are preventable, and that between the ages of 15 and 19, it's the third leading cause of death is suicide. According to Erikson's stages of development in adolescence, it's detrimental that peers learn to work together as their identity is formed. The training that is provided is, according to TRIP, it's available in videos, educational, free downloads. And the other day I called AFSP, and they even said they would send me free information. They have 15 to 20 things to choose from. Our own community, NAMI, Suicide Prevention, is willing to train the public. The effectiveness to our students, according to TRIP, is that they can receive, through being in these peer groups, hope, coping skills, resources, and they can learn to adjust their feelings, their beliefs, and lead a rewarding life. And in my opinion, they can learn to never feel alone. According to COPE, they can also become better peer advocates, helping to organize the community, learn speeches, learn to give speeches, support the organization, educate, and engage with the issues. By helping each other, we learn to help ourselves. Resources for the schools include student academic growth resources. By being involved, you can have opportunities to get scholarships. You could receive support from UCLA and college apprentice programs. And of course, you'll have a great resume builder when you apply for a job. Community resources that could be provided through the schools include mentor programs, pastors that come out to the schools, recommended church youth groups, free counseling, or low-cost counseling like neighborhood church, and helpline numbers or free texting or 24-hour texting like the Alex Project. Other parent support resources can be provided, including school expertise and phone call interventions. As school officials see signs urgent, parents oftentimes see signs gradually. In conclusion, I'd like us all to see how we have the eyes to show the world, to teach about the education in schools and bring awareness to the world. And as my son Chase taught me, to let everyone know that you care about, that you love them, and remember that you're strong, amazing, and beautiful. And saying you love someone opens up your heart. So tell everybody.